So apparently, you don't need to change your diet. You don't need to exercise. You just need a smaller plate and a bedtime potion. Oh, and if that doesn't work, just stop eating salt for 2 days. What could possibly go wrong? Welcome to Trust the What. Today, we're breaking down viral weight loss hacks, figuring out what actually works, and what's just influencer nonsense with good lighting.
Struggling with your weight and are eating too much, here are 2 easy hacks that can help. I'm Dr. Tanya Elliott, board certified internal medicine specialist and allergist. Number 1, plate color. Make sure that your plate is a different color from the food that's on it. Why does color matter? When the color contrasts with the color of your plate, it stands out more, making you eat less. If the color is the same, it blends and you tend to add more and eat more. Number 2, plate size. Choose a smaller plate, which will make you choose smaller portions. Instead of grabbing a dinner plate, pick the breakfast plate instead. Dishware sizes increase both at home and when eating out, so be careful when choosing your plate. Try these hacks, and studies have shown you can eat 10% less.
So the first thing that we need to do is choose our plate size. I've got IKEA plates at home, and I've got 2 different sizes to choose from. I've got your large dinner plate, and I've got your small, what I would refer to as a dessert plate. So which one am I supposed to choose? The smaller one. Got it. All right, I've got a blue plate, so let's pick some foods that will contrast with a blue plate. Let's start with a sausage McMuffin with egg. That contrasts nicely with the plate. Next we'll add a McDonald's hash brown. See how nicely it contrasts with the plate? And last we'll add a Krispy Kreme donut. See how nicely the chocolate contrasts with the plate. That's 920 calories on that little plate. Do you think I'm eating less or eating 5 more plates? These tricks might help a little, but if the food is designed to make you overeat, according to this post from Smoothie Detox on Instagram, I can drink this bedtime beverage and remove belly fat in a single night. Apple cider vinegar, lemon, honey, cinnamon, and hot water. Cheers. Oh, God, that's disgusting. What? The directions didn't say I couldn't eat chips. If this works, I should be getting leaner right now. Ugh, second sip only gets worse. You can't outdrink a bad diet.
See this? This is salt. But even if it's sugar, let's talk about both of them. Too much salt is going to allow your body to retain too much fluid, and too much sugar is also going to allow your body to retain more water, which is fluid as well, because for every gram of glycogen that's stored, that means excessive sugar that's stored in the liver as well as the muscle, you're going to have 3 to 4 grams of water. And that means more bloating. So if you're looking at your tummy, you're putting on weight, it may not be coming from fat, but from too much sugar or from too much salt. And if you're eating all that salt and sugar, you're retaining lots of fluid. And if you want to take that fluid out, get rid of that bloating, help your heart, feel better about yourself, as well as your entire health, cut back for 48 hours and watch how you can lose those pounds. Make it a great day.
You lose weight, but it's not fat. This point leads to something way bigger. The real problem. Why can't we stop eating chips, but nobody binges broccoli? It's engineering. Salt, sugar, fat. That combination is designed to make you overeat. Ultra-processed foods. Let's define the real problem. Let's start with ultra-processed drinks. These include things like soda, energy drinks, sports drinks, bottled juices, bottled teas, flavored milks, protein shakes, and powdered drink mixes like Tang. I grew up on Tang. It's what the astronauts drank.
With the success of the recent Apollo space flights, man has been brought another step closer to the moon. Aboard these manned Apollo flights, 3 astronauts, and with them, Tang.
Next up, ultra-processed snacks. These include things like cookies, cakes, candies, ice cream, pies, chips, crackers, cheese puffs, pretzels, popcorn, granola bars, flavored yogurt, fruit snacks, jerky, and processed cheeses like American cheese. Did you know that stuff isn't even legally able to be called cheese? They call it cheese food. Then there's ultra-processed meals. These include things like frozen pizzas, frozen dinners, frozen pasta dishes, frozen fish sticks and chicken nuggets, pre-mixed flavored tuna packets, instant ramen, boxed mac and cheese, instant soup mixes, packaged pasta or rice sides, hot dogs, lunch meats, canned chilies, and even jarred sauces. And lastly, we have your ultra-processed breakfast foods, which include sugary cereals, instant oatmeal packets, breakfast bars, toaster pastries, frozen waffles or pancakes, commercial sliced bread, pastries, donuts, oh, not donuts, muffins, bagels, bacon, sausage, and flavored yogurts.
So what do all of these ultra-processed foods have in common? First, they typically have no resemblance to the original ingredients. You don't look at a loaf of bread and think, yeah, that looks like amber waves of grain. Second, they typically contain large amounts of hidden sugars and refined seed oils. Did you know all of these other names for sugars? High fructose corn syrup, rice syrup, malt syrup, maple syrup, golden syrup, carob syrup. So syrup means sugar. Dextrose, fructose, glucose, lactose, maltose, sucrose. If it ends in ose, it's a sugar. Agave nectar, fruit nectar, cane juice, fruit juice concentrate. So nectar and juice means sugar. Brown sugar, raw sugar, beet sugar, cane sugar, powdered sugar, molasses, honey, caramel, maltodextrin, and treacle. Most processed foods have more than one type of sugar in them. You know how we have been told for years that vegetable oil is healthy and butter is bad? Turns out that's not true. And ultra-processed foods contain boatloads of these processed seed oils like canola oil, also called rapeseed oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, grapeseed oil, cottonseed oil, which is what Crisco was made from. And lastly, they typically have a paragraph of ingredients, many of which you can't pronounce.
If your food has a paragraph of ingredients, you're not eating food. The consequences. So let's stop talking about hacks for a second and talk about what's actually happening when ultra-processed food becomes a daily habit. Depression. Let's start with your brain, because this one surprises people. High intake of ultra-processed foods is linked to 53% increase in mental health issues. 53%. And one of the main reasons? Chronic inflammation. You're not just eating junk, you're feeding a low-grade fire in your brain. Obesity. Now let's talk about the obvious one, weight gain. Ultra-processed foods don't just contain calories. They're designed to make you eat more of them. Point 1, blood sugar roller coaster. When you eat a bunch of refined carbs and sugar, your blood sugar spikes, your insulin spikes, and when insulin spikes high enough, your body starts storing fat. Point 2, engineered to overeat. Then there's the formula, salt, sugar, fat, engineered by food scientists to create the perfect combination to keep you eating long after you're full. Point 3, no satiety. And here's the kicker. These foods are usually low in protein and low in fiber, so your body never gets the signal to stop. You're not weak, you're outmatched. Gut damage. Now let's go deeper. Your gut. Ultra-processed foods are low in fiber and loaded with additives, things like emulsifiers and artificial sweeteners that mess with your gut bacteria. And when your gut is off, everything is off. Cancer risk. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. High intake of ultra-processed foods has been linked to higher cancer risks, especially colorectal cancer. Why? Chronic inflammation, poor gut health, and obesity, all feeding into the same problem. So, when we talk about ultra-processed foods, we're not just talking about calories. They affect all of it. You don't need a hack. You need to stop eating foods that are literally working against you. And this is why cutting back on or completely eliminating ultra-processed foods from your diet is one of the most powerful first moves you can make. And we're arguing about plate color? Seriously? Look, will smaller plates help? Maybe. Will vinegar tea fix your metabolism? No. You remove the foods designed to make you overeat, everything gets easier. 1% challenge. Pick one ultra-processed food and replace it. Soda for water, chips for whole foods, sugary breakfast for protein-rich breakfast. You don't need hacks. You need better inputs. If you found this video helpful, remember to hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Also, send this video to someone drinking fat-burning tea before bed. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.